In this video, I'm going to be talking about the top 7 golf hybrids of 2019. So we're going to be covering hybrids for different skill levels. We're going to be talking about which ones are going to be best for low handicaps, mid handicaps, high handicaps, and beginners as well. So what we look for whenever we're testing them all out were how they actually performed for not only me but other players as well, how the quality was, the price, and then we tried the best we could to find ones a little bit cheaper, some that are in the kind of middle, and then some that are more expensive as well. So you can kind of go off whatever your budget is and what you're looking for specifically. But before we get started, I will just mention our subscriber milestone giveaway. So every 1,000 subscribers, we're going to be giving away gear. So all you have to do is subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment giveaway down below, do those 3 things and you'll be automatically entered. So my number 7 pick is going to be the TaylorMade Gapper, and I will just mention picks 4, 5, 6, and 7 are really in no specific order, but my 1, 2, and 3 pick, those are pretty much going to be the best options in my opinion for one for low handicap, one for mid, and one for high handicaps and beginners as well. So just keep that in mind, but all 7 are going to be great options. So Gapper is my number 7, and if you can hit your long irons decently, but you want something a little bit more reliable and higher launching, then this could be for you. Hybrids, they were pretty much made to bridge the gap between irons and woods, but most of them these days are closer to woods with kind of the bigger head that's slightly smaller than woods. The Gapper it's more like how hybrids were supposed to be, and even though this model came out a few years ago, it does still hold up really well to this day. So let's jump into some pros and cons. So pros, it's higher launching than normal hybrids, it's much more controllable than your standard hybrid, and this is going to spin less than your standard hybrid as well, so it is easier to stop on the green if you're hitting for like from the fairway or a long par 3. Most hybrids I find tend to run off the green, they don't really stick, but this one, because it launched higher, it produced a bit more or less spin, and it was able to stop much better on the green. Cons, the only potential downside is that it may launch too high for some players, so I know some people don't want the ball to launch up way up in the air, whereas kind of beginner high handicaps do. More lower handicaps sometimes don't if they want it as a driving iron, that kind of thing. So it's kind of one thing to keep in mind, but definitely it's a solid hybrid, and I did really like it. Number 6 is going to be the Callaway Apex, and if you're a low to mid handicap who wants a hybrid that's more like a long iron instead of a wood, then this could be for you. It's pretty much used more as a driving iron instead of something that's made for pure forgiveness or hitting out of the longer rough like most other hybrids are. So this one's more of a driving iron from the fairway or off the tee. I found this club to have a bit more of a bigger sweet spot than my long irons, and was much better on off-center hits as well, and that's kind of why I do like it. Pros, it's going to launch slightly higher than a long iron. It's pretty easy to shape the ball around, so left to right or up and down, that kind of thing. If you want to control the trajectory or shape it around, it's a good option for that. And I love the way it feels and sounds at impact, so it is really, really solid. Cons, it's not going to be a good option for hitting out of the rough. A standard hybrid would be much better. And then there are no alignment aids on the top of the club as well, so if you do need help aligning the ball to the target properly, it's not going to be a good option for you. But if you want a good driving iron, this is one of the best in my opinion. Number 5 is going to be the Cobra King F8. And if you've been a fan of Cobra clubs and you don't want to spend a fortune, then this could be perfect for you. It came out in 2018 sometime, but it's still one of my favorite hybrids to this day, just because it's one of the easier to hit off the fairway, and it's not going to break the bank either. It also comes with Cobra Connect, which is pretty cool, and that's basically going to track each of your shots, so you can then see where you hit each shot and how far it went, so you can actually download the app, and you can see where all of your hybrid shots went on the course, and then how far they were as well. So it's pretty cool. You can make sure your distances are good. You can figure out things to work on, all that kind of stuff. Pros, it's the second cheapest hybrid on this list. If you tend to hit the ball fat, then the rails on the bottom will definitely help you, and then it's easy to align properly as well. Cons, it's a fixed club and it can't be adjusted. The head is a little bit heavy, but I actually do prefer that. Some people want just pure lightness. I'm not really a fan of that, so I do like the weight of this, but some people won't. And then it's not the most forgiving hybrid on this list. It's not bad by any means, but there are definitely better options out there if you need straight forgiveness over distance, that kind of thing, like most kind of beginner and high handicaps would need. But overall, another solid option. Number 4 is going to be the Cobra F9 Speedback. This is the newest hybrid from Cobra, and it does have a few more advanced features than the previous F8. The F9, it's slightly bigger than the F8 and is more quieter at impact, and also offers a bit more feedback on missed hits. This isn't going to be the longest hybrid on the market. It wasn't for me personally. It might be for you, I don't know, but for me personally it wasn't. But it is designed to give predictable range with the right amount of spin to stop on the green. So that's why I did like it. I do prefer it over the F8. It is more expensive, but then again, I found it was more consistent, and it was able to stop much better on the green. And that's kind of what I use my hybrids for, on like a longer par 3, or if I'm hitting like 200 to 210 yards from the fairway onto the green. That's when I'll use this, and it works great for that. Pros, it launched the perfect height for me. It wasn't too high, it wasn't too low. The bottom rails do help a lot with turf interaction and hitting out of the rough. So if you find yourself in the rough a lot, this could definitely be a great option for you. Or if you find that you hit the ball fat often with your hybrids or even woods, this could be a great replacement. And then it's a great replacement for your longer iron as well. Cons, it's an expensive hybrid, not the highest though. It wasn't the longest hybrid for my game personally. I'm not saying it's not the longest, but just for my game personally, it wasn't. And then it wasn't the most forgiving hybrid for me, but it was pretty good. Okay, so those are the main pros and cons to it. Number 3 is going to be the Ping G400, and this has been my favorite hybrid for a while now. And the main reason is probably because I also use the G400 driver and fairway wood, so I am comfortable with it. I found these clubs to be the most versatile and suited better for different situations compared to others. So they're not the longest, they're not the most forgiving, but they're definitely top 2 in pretty much all categories. So like off the fairway, off the tee, they're good in the rough. It can also work the ball around if you want to draw it or fade it. It's probably not as good as the newer G410, but it is much cheaper, and that's why I have it on the list, and the G410 isn't. Pros, it's the most comfortable hybrid for me at address and also through impact. It has a great amount of control and accuracy, so I was able to control the ball really well, and that's kind of why I do like it so much. And you can draw or fade the ball with it as well. Cons, it's not the easiest club to align properly, so if you do need the most alignment help, probably not the best option for you. It's not adjustable, and then it wasn't the longest hybrid, but I do prefer the increased control. I'll take 10-15 yards shorter if I can control it much better all day long, because if I need distance, I can just use my fairway wood or something like that. Number 2 is going to be the Cleveland Launcher HB, and if you're a beginner, high handicap, or you're just someone who wants to bomb it high and straight down the fairway, then this could definitely be for you. It's not the longest club, and it's not the best for working the ball around, but it's still one of my favorite golf clubs to this day. All the Launcher HB clubs are incredibly easy to hit, and it almost feels like cheating in a way just because the sweet spot on them is so big. If you do have troubles hitting your irons, definitely check out the Cleveland Launcher HB irons. They are the easiest club I've ever hit. They're so easy, they launch high, and are great for people with slower swing speeds or people who need a lot of forgiveness. Pros, it's the cheapest hybrid on this list. It's the highest launching hybrid for me, and it's the most forgiving hybrid I've ever tested. Cons, it's not the best for hitting out of the rough, but you should definitely be in the rough less if you are using this. And then if you do have a faster swing speed, you'll probably get more distance with something else. But overall, if you want forgiveness, you want high launches, this is by far the best option. But my number 1 pick is going to be the TaylorMade M6. And even though I've been using the G400 hybrid, I still think the M6 is going to be the best option for most golfers watching this. The M6, it's a great club for all skill levels, so low handicaps, mid handicaps, high handicaps, beginners, and it's probably the most complete hybrid on the market. It is pretty expensive, but it allows you to grow into it as you do get better, and it's good in pretty much every situation. So it's good off the tee, in the fairway, in the rough. The forgiveness was good, distance was good, and you can still work the ball around. So I was still able to fade the ball, draw the ball a little bit. It wasn't as good as some, but you definitely could do it better than some of the other ones. So overall, definitely the most solid in my opinion. pros, it has twist face to help with distance and also straightness on off-center hits. So if you do hit the ball more towards the heel or more towards the toe, the shape of the face is designed to get it back going in a straight direction and give you better distance on off-center hits. It is a lower center of gravity to give a higher launch with more forgiveness, and then it's designed to give better distance on thin shots as well. Cons, the price is quite high, but at least you can grow into it, so you don't need to get a new hybrid when you start getting better. There are no adjustments on the hybrid, and the distance isn't that much more than the M4, but it is more complete. I think it has more forgiveness, a bigger sweet spot, and the twist face does help on it. But overall, this is definitely my favorite pick for the majority of golfers, but pretty much any of the 7 are going to be good picks. So just kind of go based on whatever your budget is and what you're looking for specifically. But if you'd like to see more images or more reviews or get any of these for the lowest price available, click the link in the description down below. At the time of making this video, that was the best place I could find it. So you can go and check out the current price if you want. And if you have any questions, leave a comment down below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And if you haven't already watched and commented on our latest video, click the video card to the left and get yourself another entry into our golf giveaway.